another stream of Orb on the Moons of the Earth, the anime series. Oh, how I wish I could say the manga series too sometimes. Wish I were good to go. God, I'm in so much pain today. Anyway, so we are today watch episode 21 of Orb on the Moons of the Earth, which is a scary thought to realize that we're actually close to the end at this point, but we're getting there, and it's scary to say the least. And I am on the edge of my seat to see how they adapt the rest of it, because fuck me sideways is the rest of this series like absolute cinema. So actually quite to see how they adapt it. But I mean, going by how they handled episode 20, it proved to me that we're in good hands when it comes to the end of this shit series. So actually quite to see them stick the landing. But I always like to say nothing bad happened last week. Like nothing bad happened. No one died. No one went kaboom randomly. Everyone's just happy. Everyone's just getting by and kind of vibing. No one's absolutely fucking dead at this point. And yeah, I guess we'll see what happens this week. Who knows what's gonna happen? Nothing bad will happen this week. It's gonna be hunky dory as we would say in England. Right, so streaming. Come by and get comfy as we watch some more Orb. Actually get the right keys that time. Jesus Christ. Yeah, good to go. I had to like read that correctly. Streams. I don't want to stream summary. I want to stream manager. Ow. Right. And we're good to go. So, as I always do say, let me get everything up so actually you can see what's happening. It's going to show on the road. I start this thing in 3, 2, 1. It starts this thing absolutely now. Like I said, nothing bad happened. I always say that. Nothing bad happened. God damn, that mustache is so majestic. Can't get past how cool the mustache is. Sorry, I just hit the microphone accidentally. Still kind of wondering why there's so much fan art of Frei though. He's just like out of the series when it comes to the moneymaker. I wasn't expecting Frei to be like one of the big ones. I keep seeing all over my timeline. I'm like, man, I wasn't expecting this. What is interesting as well is we actually slowly starting to see Drucker actually like, take control of her convictions as well. Speaking of. This series is so cool. Spencer's like, holy shit, what happened like in the space of 10 minutes? And also get Potocki that 10%. You always got to remember that part. That's like very important. Dude just probably sitting there like, what's this 10% about? It's like 75 years later, or like 150 years later, and like they're still talking about still talking about the 15% or 10%. I always do find like very fascinating like the impact that Jolenta has on Draka in such a short space of time as well. Like how she kind of gives up what she's wearing to actually then don the hood that Jolenta wears. It's one of those things. It's character growth, and it's like it happens in such a short space of time. Because even technically speaking, it's like shocking to see how different she is from episode 19 to now. But it's not like, that kind of like, oh my god, they're a completely different person kind of thing. No, it's more the situation kind of lets the character grow, and I kind of like that about the series as well. It's kind of feel like I kind of feel like when you look at like shows and series and other mediums, it's always that one arc where the character has to grow. Like it's like that kind of like that turning point, so to speak, that you're always expecting it. But I kind of feel like what this show does do, it lets the characters grow as the world itself starts to grow. It's very organic in that way. One other thing I kind of do appreciate, excuse me, kind of do appreciate with the series as well is the idea of preservation as well. Like if you kind of view it outside the lens of the time period and also like them, what their intention is to kind of do. If you look at the idea, like it's also about like keeping history alive because as we know, technically speaking, her burning the book was one of the last bastions of that whole entire idea. Thank God, sorry. Thank God, Draka actually has a photographic memory that she remembered everything in there. But she was able to keep that alive because, again, it's always about keeping that idea alive, not to let it go to fall to the wayside. Because I always feel like words are eternal in a way. It's that idea that like certain things can't last forever. Let's be real, because it depends on how it's preserved. But I've always felt like words are passed down from generation to generation. It's just one of those things that can't be erased. And I kind of like how this series does examine that whole idea as well. The idea of preservation. Like again, the only other series I can think of my brain that does it is Golden Kamui. Golden Kamui is all about preserving history, and I kind of feel like this series is also about that. It's actually quite nice because again, we live in an age where preservation is always at an impasse. Like you never know what things can keep living on, So it's nice actually for a series that kind of faces that problem head on, actually examines like why it's important to preserve and actually keep things alive and not just make it fall to the wayside. I like that. I always excuse me. I always liked how series do tackle that whole entire subject because it's very topical in a way. Ooh, name drop. It's the Family Guy scene when Peter goes, ah, he said it. It's kind of nice that they do actually keep her alive like that as well. Like she always wanted to get published as well, so it's actually kind of nice that she does get published. It is really nice to actually see like the growth in Draka as well. It's just like I said it already when she actually donned the hood as well. But I kind of feel like even now it's even more so. You can tell like how much she's grown in just a short space of time. It's one of those things. Again, is nothing out of the ordinary. It's not like, oh my god, this series is like the first one to ever do it. But I kind of feel like how this show does do it, it makes you wonder what other shows take so long for a character to do anything really. How characters grow in such a short space of time in this show. You're like, what? How have I not seen this more often? It's really nice that they actually kept her name on it because technically speaking, it's all three of them, so to speak, as well. Because it's Okosi's words as well as Badeni, as well as Jolenta's name on the actual book. It's a joint effort. Just it's nice. It keeps them all three of them alive. Hmm. Kind of feel like as well, it's not just about the topic that needs to be kept alive. It's the people who also operate within that topic, like who actually are the people who done it need to actually be kept alive as well. Their memory needs to be there as well. We can't just get rid of them either. I like how this show does in theory do that too. I do like the use of shadow in this part of the series as well. I like how light plays more of a part in this more so than prior parts in this series because beforehand it was the night sky and the stars, but now even more so it's the sun. Uh-oh. This is what I mean when I said that I wondered why he had so much, fan art, because I was like, he's a little bit kind of, what's the word? A little bit suspect when it comes to, like, being a cool dude. So, dude, what the fuck? Damn, dude just stanced up immediately. Like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm like, dude, he can't kill Smith. He's the coolest dude ever. He's like the goat. See? Point proven. Such a cool shot. Such a cool shot. He's so cool. I love Smith so much. He's like, nah. He's like, dude, nah. It's interesting that still people trying to prove the orthodoxy was right. It's so fucking good, this series. My god. Absolute fucking cinema, this series. But yeah, sorry. Sorry, there's a little bit of betrayal going on here. Don't worry about it, bro. This is what I mean. Frey was like always a little bit suspect since the beginning. I was like, why is everyone latched onto him so much? That's just the only one like, hmm? which is kind of unorthodox for me, considering that all my favorite characters are the ones that are evil. I'm like, and I was just sitting there going, why is everyone like latching onto to the very, not so subtle evil guy? Oh, I say not so subtle. He's still subtle about it, but he had that aura about him. I mean, we're in the era talking might work a bit more, but let's be real. Is it gonna work? It'd be interesting if she rocks up there like, yeah, by the way, bro, like shit's changing, bro. And he's like, actually, you're right. And it just ends the whole entire series. She's like, oh shit, okay. God damn. Smith's so fucking cool. Like, oh my god, this man. He's as they would as the cool people would say, he is the GOAT. Like, goddamn, my dude. Ever since I read the manga, I've been like, I really want everyone to see him because he's just that goddamn cool. Like, you can't get past like, he just oozes the coolness about him. He just there's nothing like, he's just perfect in every way. He's just so cool. But yeah, I mean, I would say this is probably the calm before the storm, but technically speaking, the storm's already happened. It's just we're kind of hit like we're entering the eye of the storm. I guess is the best way to describe it. It is a good episode. It was a great episode overall. It's a good episode, but it's brilliant. Absolute cinema when it comes to convictions. The idea of characters growing as well. It's just everything about it is perfect. Even the production itself is improving as well again. It goes back to the whole entire prior point about how the series does tend to retain like the key parts, the key like I guess the key stuff for like the really crucial episodes, which isn't a bad idea, I must say. It's working a lot better than I expected because we get episodes that look fucking brilliant. This episode was just amazing. The sunlight on Schmidt, for example, was absolutely divine, pardon the pun. It's one of those things that it really adds a lot more to the scene than not having the sun there is what I'm trying to say, goddamn. If I could say words, that is. Like I said, it's just like this series is like absolutely incredible. And I can't understand where this series has been my entire life. And I'm so glad actually it's here because it just does everything perfectly. There's not a single thing like, oh, I can say, well, actually. No, everything's perfect, I must say. I mean, Draka's actual I just realized I just typed in chat. Draka's like personality growing as time goes on as well was actually really nice to see. Her going from where she was when we saw her to now is actually a brilliant progression because like she says, you are inheriting her, you are like bringing her thoughts forward, but you're not inheriting her, so to speak. You're not bringing her forward. That's the kind of like the major thing. I do actually appreciate that because again, it's one of those things like how the series has always presented itself has been that those involved are as important as the thing itself. So if you don't bring those along with you, you lose part of what makes the thing special. And I kind of feel like it's actually really important. Actually, a very it's a again, I guess it's a very topical thing because again, in media, you have like the series, but you don't always account for the people who make it. So especially with films as well. So I do like how the show does, in theory, tackle that too. The idea that we have to view not just the topic, but those involved. And I like how Druck is actually inheriting Jolene to actually then go forward. And actually, I find it to be nice because again, it's one of those things that we're seeing now that they will never be forgotten, and I kind of feel like it's actually the nicest way to actually look at it. Yeah, they're all dead. Our best friends are dead, and it's fucking depressing to know that we'll never see them ever again. But they still live on. I feel it's actually a very very important point in this whole entire series is they're not dead. They're still there in spirit. And I kind of feel like it's nice. It's nice. And I also like how Smith actually does in theory keep to his convictions as well. Like the idea of when Frei betrayed him, how Frei was saying, "Look, just admit the church's orthodoxy was correct." How he would not agree with it. I like that because again, it's one of those things that we are seeing the church's impact on the world slowly wane. Well, it's not slowly now because it's really much waned completely. Like it's just not there at all anymore. I like how characters don't necessarily go, yeah, actually you're right. Yeah, the church is actually correct. What am I doing here? No, they keep to their own guns and actually do in theory go forward with that whole entire idea. And I like that because even when characters are trying to prove them incorrect, trying to say that no, the church is correct. No, they're saying no, it's not. And I kind of like that because it's showing the times are changing. And I also like how Draka also utilizes the idea of speaking. In other series, you're like, fuck. But in this series, her speaking is crucial because it's one of those things that has been lacking this entire series. In a sense, like how other characters just won't talk. They just utilize fear and everything like that to actually kind of get by. I mean, a church in this context, but you know what I mean. They use fear to actually then get their point across. It doesn't feel genuine at all, does it? And I kind of feel like it's crucial to actually see how we're getting to this point that talking is an important factor. How how we don't have to just utilize fear and like that to actually get our point across. We can, in theory, talk. I mean, it's only a time will tell kind of scenario whether or not it will work. But again, it's one of those things. It's very crucial to understand how much the times are changing. I mean, Drucker does specifically say times are changing. The times have changed, but outside of that, we are seeing how much time has changed. I actually like that aspect as well. So yeah, I mean, we're heading to the final stretch of the series. It's a depressing outlook to realize that in about less than a month we'll probably won't have the series ever again. But you know, it's just been nice to actually watch the series. It's been absolute cinema to watch the series play out. And I can't wait to see how they do in theory adapt the rest of this because my god, it's going to be absolutely incredible. So yeah, that is me done for today. So as always, you actually have enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole, and as always, do leave a follow on Twitch, where you do see these streams live. You actually have then enjoyed this entire stream as a whole on YouTube as well, and as always, do leave a like, leave a sub as well, both do help quite a lot. If you have then enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole on YouTube, and as always, do leave a follow on Twitter as well. Helps quite a bit also, actually will then know when these streams are live and any other streams I may do as well. So yeah, into episode 22 of Orb on the Movements of the Earth. I'll see you guys then. Bye for now.